All right. This evening, the workshop, as you see on the screen, is titled Tackling Personal Finances. Tackling Personal Finances. For those of you who may not know a little bit about me, I'm an accountant by profession. All right. And so finances is my thing. I shouldn't say finances. Numbers is my thing. Okay, numbers. And so, but we are here to share with you the little knowledge that we have that would help you in grow financially in terms of managing your finances. All right. I am not, and I would put this disclaimer, I am not a financial planner, and it's a difference. Okay. Financial planners get into getting your investments and your savings and things like that, and sketching out a plan based on investments, encouraging you in telling you where to invest and how to invest, specifically for retirement and those types of things. That is not me. All right. I mean, I do it for myself and a few other folks, but in terms of being what you call a certified financial planner, that is not me. All right. But when you're talking about creating businesses and taxes and things like that, then you could come talk to me. All right? Now, let me ask this question. Those of you who are here, well, those of you who are viewing online, put it in the chat. I don't know who's monitoring the chat. Put it in the chat. But for those of you who are here, what are your expectations from this workshop? What do you expect to gather from this workshop? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. All right. I saw your hand.
I was going to say the same thing, guidance on what are the tricks or the tips or the whatever to manage my finances better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Did I see your hand, Evie, or no?
No, I'm
Okay. All right. So basically, that's it. That if you hope to be able to gather some tips to manage your finances a little bit better. I think we all could do that. I could do that. And sometimes I start off good and then I slip back. And so it would take some type of a workshop or seminar or podcast or whatever the case may be to help bring me back on track. All right, so we all could use that. All right, so first slide. All right, the objectives of the workshop is to give us a somewhat of a good definition of personal finances, to discover who and what is taking your money. All right? Identifying wants versus needs. All right, that's important. And how to begin paying off our bills or debt. All right, there has to be a starting point, and then saving a little at a time. A lot of times people say, "Well, I'm just living from paycheck to paycheck. I don't have enough to save," and we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we're gonna celebrate realistic milestones, and setting realistic milestones. So that's how what we hope to get through this evening. Okay? All right, next slide.
Let's go on the scripture. Go back to the scripture.
Oh, go back to the scripture. Go back. I don't have my glasses on. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." What version is that? Okay. All right. The plans of the diligent leads to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. That's a powerful passage of scripture right there. And so as we continue and go through this evening, we're going to get some tips in terms of being diligent in our finances. Okay, next slide. I have to come up here because I couldn't see it from down there. All right. What is personal finance? Personal finance it has various definitions of personal finance. But for what we're going to be doing, we're going to define it as, personal finance is defined as all financial decisions and activities of an individual or household, including budgeting, insurance, mortgage planning, savings, retirement planning. All of these encompasses financial decision and financial your personal finances. Understanding these terms can help you better control your funds and prepare for future financial success. So if you don't have a good understanding of budgeting, of insurance, of mortgage planning, if you don't have a good understanding of savings and retirement planning, you would not understand fully and gain good financial success. So you have to understand those key concepts in planning or preparing for personal finances. All right? Next slide. Who or what is taking your money? All right? Pastor?
Well, we know what's going on right now. Gas is $4.29, $4.39, $5 and change in different parts of the nation and across the world. There's an impact because of what's going on in Ukraine, Russia invading Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And so the government and taxes is taking your money. But let me ask our accountant, how is the government taking our money?
Oh, the government is not really taking our money.
Okay. They're borrowing it?
No, the government requires us to give them our money.
Okay.
To give them our money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Of course, that's, it encompasses a whole lot, but basically it comes down to one word, taxes. Mm-hmm. Now, taxes is nothing that is new. Taxes has been with us since Jesus was a pebble. Mm-hmm. And we know the story about how Jesus paid his taxes. He paid his taxes.
He sure did.
He sure did. Remember the story of him telling him to go and look in the fish mouth and take the money and give it to and pay his taxes? That's right. So taxes is nothing new.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And we also, housing, we have to have shelter, right? So when we have to have shelter, it means that, of course, we have to pay rent, or we have to pay mortgage, or if we're just hanging out at a cousin's house, we got to give them something. As they say, give me something. Okay? Got to give them something. And then transportation. Sometimes we have a hoopty that's taking repair for all our money. And sometimes we have a hoopty that takes a lot of guzzling of the gas. Mm-hmm. So no matter how we slice it, we're spending all that money on that transportation. And some people, because they don't have a car, they're using Uber or Lyft. And that's taking their money for transportation. So it's a lot more than just saying transportation. And if you live in an area where there's no bus per se, then you're using that Uber or you're using that Lyft to get you from point A to point B or to work. And then we talk about entertainment. Depending on what your entertainment lifestyle is. If you're paying for a ton of money for videos or online videos, You know, they're not even $5 anymore. They're now $19.99. And you think you have to spend, you know, $30 or, you know, a weekend just enjoying entertainment. That's a lot of money. And you're going to call your neighbor or whoever to come over, and you're going to pay for that $19.99 movie that's an hour and a half or 2 hours, then you charge them $3 each. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Charge them, even you charge them $5 to go to the movies. The point is, you have to save, but these are the places that's eating up a lot of people's money, and people who don't have the money to waste like this. And so they do that. A single person may live in it by, oh, I want to see this movie, and all their money is going to Amazon Prime or the cable or whatever, because they're ordering these movies.
Fast food.
Fast food, yep. Arby's, McDonald's, whoever else is around. All the fast KFC,
Chick-fil-A.
Pizza, yeah, Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut. I'm ignoring him. So these are places that takes your money, and sometimes when you add it up, they advertise 2 for $3 or 2 for $5. It's usually 2 for $5. Now you spend the gas to go to get something that's 2 for $5. Then you spend the gas to go home. Well, when you get to 2 for $5, you want to add chips and, you know, whatever else they got, French fries and all the sundae and whatever, and a drink. By the time you're done, it's not 2 for $5 anymore. Plus the gas and the taxes. There we go. So why don't you just buy your own stuff from the supermarket, go home, and make your own burger? Really. Less money. Less money. Buy the potatoes and teach a young person how to make French fries at home. Teach them how to make a burger at home. So we want to be honest about what we're going to do in terms of fast food. I'm not saying every now and again, but that should be for when you're celebrating a milestone. That's not, but people, if you poll people and you ask them each, how many times this month have you eaten fast food? You'd be surprised at the number of people. They're running down the road, they stop and get breakfast. They're coming back, they stop to get lunch. They'll go home and cook a dinner. Then tomorrow they repeat the same cycle. They repeat the same cycle. Okay.
I could give you a little example. I know we probably time, but we're going to go get through it. And again, it's not a matter of, like they said, we celebrate. We're not saying that you can't go out and eat, but you should do that when you celebrate milestones, but not on a regular basis. We don't recommend you do it on a regular basis. Recently, there's a new IHOP that opened up in Chesterfield County. And we said, okay, let's go to IHOP for brunch one day. So we went over there for brunch, and we walked in, and he said, oh, it's a 30-minute wait or 40-minute wait, something like that. So we said, okay, we'll run over, put our names down, then we'll run over to Home Depot or something and do something and come back. So we did that, came back, and we went in, and they sat us down, and, 10 minutes went by, and nobody came over, and then 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Anyways, long story short, like 45 minutes in, we haven't been served as yet. So we said, you know what, this is not going to work. So we got up and we left. And so we said, well, what are we going to do? Oh, well, okay, I tell you what. Let's just stop at Food Lion. Yeah. So we stopped at Food Lion. We bought some what do you call it, brownies, brown hash browns. We bought some veggie links. We bought some eggs. We bought some cheese. And we probably spent, must be $15 or whatever it was. And went on home, and we cooked breakfast and had breakfast at home. So I said that to say this, that we would have spent maybe $45 at IHOP. But, we just stopped there. And plus, we had stuff left over. that we could have used.
Yeah, right.
You know, that we could have gotten seconds. Right? So again, I say that to say that, you know, be conscious of how you're spending your money. You know, take that time to think about it.
Yeah.
All right? So that's $30 we saved that day. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Elder Perry, can you hit the space bar? And again, we look at healthcare. Healthcare, the current and past bills. That's taking our money. Some people had past bills for going to patient first, or going to the ER, or going to even their doctor, the regular primary care. And that is taking your money, because what's going on is that you still have that bill, those bills actually, that you have to pay. You still have to pay those bills, so that's taking your money. Okay, thank you. Next slide. So what is considered income? Wages, your paycheck. If you're getting Social Security, if you're getting a disability check, if you're getting SNAP or TANF or child support, under the table work, where you're not getting a 1099 at the end of the year. Somebody's not giving you a 1099 form, but they're paying you under the table. Day labor. A lot of times you have day laborers. You would work for the day and get your $75 or $100 or how much ever it is. And then you have tax refund. That's income. That's income when you're thinking about when you're going to budget. You want to talk about the money that you received for this month. How much money you expect to receive. That's your income. And then those people who got stimulus check, all that was income. But people got the stimulus check and didn't count it as income. They thought of it as what? Free money.
Free money.
But it was income. So if you're going to budget and you're getting all monies from all these different places, that's income. That should be at the top of your worksheet that you have.
Now,
That should be there.
Keep in mind that this is income. This is not taxable income. And there's a difference.
Right.
Okay? This is not taxable. This is income for the household when you're talking about finance, your personal finances and budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at all forms of income that's coming in.
Yeah. Uncle Sam already took his. By the time you get the paycheck, Uncle Sam took his. Okay? By the time you get the child support, everything, you know, it's coming to you. All of that. Except for the under-the-table work, where, you know, you go work for somebody and clean out the garage or, you know, do their lawn or whatever, and they just pay you. You're not even declaring that to Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Could this income be variable? Like one month I do under the table work and the next month I don't do it?
Mm-hmm.
How do I account for that variance on my income sheet?
It's all income, no
It's
matter
all
when
income.
you get it.
Okay.
Whether you did it
Yeah.
last week, last month, each month, your budget sheet, you should be doing a budget sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So the income may change at the top,
Okay.
but the things in the list that you have to pay for,
Mm-hmm.
those things remain the same, except for maybe the amount as you start to pay off some of them. You know, if you decide instead of doing full cable for, you know, how much a full cable, I don't even know what full cable is anymore, because we do what we
Oh,
do.
it's like $10 now.
$10 for full cable?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yes, I'll explain to you. Well, let me explain to you now what the cable system companies have done. Before internet,
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
right? The cable company used to charge you $60, $75 a month
Right.
for cable,
Mm-hmm.
right? Here comes in, and they say, oh, if you bundle, you're going to get a better rate.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, okay, fine, we'll charge you $85, $90, $100, whatever it is, for the bundle.
Mm-hmm.
It includes everything.
Yeah.
But here comes the internet. Everybody's on the internet now, right? So what the cable company does is say, okay, we're going to just add additional $25 or so. So now your monthly bundle bill is $125, which is good. Today, if you decided that I no longer use my house phone
Mm-hmm.
because I have a cell phone, and you call the Verizon or whomever, or who is it, Digit or whomever it is, and you said, I want to take my phone off because I want to save some money. You know what they're going to tell you? Don't bother to change it, because if you say you only want internet because you have internet, over the line internet, you could get your television through the internet and all this, so you just want to pay for your internet is going to still charge you $100.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not really saving.
Mm-hmm.
They would say, oh, you might as well keep it because you're only paying $5 or $10 more for your phone and your cable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no savings there.
Not unless you don't want Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And most of us want Wi-Fi
Or
because
need it,
that's how we
because
connect.
we-
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how
because
we connected.
Yeah, that's how we stay connected.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's how we stay connected. So they're trying to take your money. I'm sorry. That's what they're trying to do. Take your money. And I should have put them on the other slide. Next one, please. Okay, so what are your wants and what are your needs? I have some up there, but can you guys think of some other ones? What are some of your wants? Because I have wants up there like people want McDonald's, KFC, Arby's. Remember we were talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people have sons and daughters as well that have these gaming systems.
Mm-hmm.
That's a want. That's not a need. So when you're thinking about your grandchildren or your nieces or your nephews, that's a want. That's not a need.
Man, why you have to put a fishing rod up there? Furthermore,
I said new
What's up
fishing
with
rod. I didn't say you don't have a fishing rod. I'm saying a new fishing rod. Just because
Okay.
nothing is wrong with the old one, but you're like, I want a new one.
What's up with the new wig?
Huh?
What?
The new wig. New wig.
well, I'm going to say, look, ain't nothing wrong with the old one, but I'm talking about the new one.
The new wig. Yeah, and not because there's a new trend. That's the idea I'm talking about. There's some kind of trend. They're wearing all the way, hair down all the way now. When you sit down, they pull out the roots of the hair. But anyways, and then you want a new garden. This is not what you call it. And you want a new garden. So a new garden, we had the guys come out to look at our yard, to give us a price and how to deal with our yard. It came back, the estimate was $4,000 and change. I looked at that and I said, well, that's okay. I'll keep using what I got. But you have to decide what's a need and what's a want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then talk about the new windows. So these people are going around in the community now, knocking on your door or leaving these little leaflets. You need new windows. We got a deal going on in the community, and if you want new windows. Now, is it that I need new windows? If I need new windows, that's a different story. Then I have to save for that. But do I want new windows? Yeah, my neighbor's got some, so I might as well get some.
Triple pane.
Yeah.
Triple pane.
Triple
window.
pane. They got
Yeah.
triple pane, so I want it too.
Yeah.
And that's where you get this idea of envy. And we need to stop so that we can save our own money. Next, then we have the needs.
What's that?
The new motorcycle. Oh, I don't know. That's a want. That's not a need. Yeah.
that's
He said that's transportation.
That's what.
And it's a gas saver. Uh-huh.
See, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No, that's a want. That's a want. Needs. So your need is shelter. You need a roof over your head. Absolutely. And then another need is food. And learn how to make casseroles. Now, this may not be for y'all here, but I want you to engage with a younger woman, for the women here, and for the men who cook too. Engage with a younger person and teach them how to let $20, stretch. You can make a spaghetti or a baked ziti casserole that will last you for a few days if you have 3 and 4 children. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about when I say make a casserole. They have rice casserole with broccoli and chicken or whatever you use if you use a vegetarian meat. Whatever it is, the point is make casseroles to last if you have a large family. And teach your children and grandchildren that their stomach is only as big as the palm of their hands. So they don't need 3 servings. They are not hungry. Yeah, I think that's you talking about it, because he wants the dessert. And teach them how to make healthy desserts. Oatmeal, the large containers of oatmeal is about $5, $6. So you take that, and there's a recipe for oatmeal cookies right on the top or on the side. So the oatmeal is, you're using it for porridge, or we say porridge, you say cereal. You're using it for hot cereal, but you also, that's a dessert. Teach them how to use the recipe. So you're saving instead of going out there and buy a cake. And when you think you're buying an angel food cake, no, don't even try that. It's still, use what you have to really stretch your dollars.
Angel food cake is all air
Yeah.
and all sugar.
Yep, that's all it is.
And it's not healthy.
And it's not healthy.
But you make an oatmeal cookie, you know, it's filling, it's healthy, it sustains you.
Yep. Then you need water and air. Those are your needs, water and air. So don't fool yourself into thinking, I don't need to drink water. You do. You need to drink water to sustain, to let your skin stay healthy. So when we're talking about budgeting, you're thinking about if I'm staying healthy with water, I don't have to buy 10 gallons of moisturizer every month. It's going to last me if I buy a nice container. It's going to last me. But if my skin is constantly dry because I'm not drinking water, you see? So you have to drink your water so that then you're not spending money. It's all about not spending that dollar. Okay? And then we talk about electric. You need the lights. You need the lights. You need medication. If you are someone that takes medication, you need your that's a need. That's not a want. That's a need. And some people don't have because they haven't been able to save enough to even afford their medication. So when it costs them $100 and $200 a month for medication, sometimes they skip days because they can't afford to take a pill a day or 2 pills a day. So they skip dosages, and so they're not getting healthier. So that means they're spending more money going to the doctor. They can't save, and they're getting sicker and sicker. So that's a need. And then we all need love. We all need love. Yes, ma'am.
Can we put security on that side because of the security systems now that we all have in our houses?
Oh, okay.
As a
That-
need,
Is it a need or is it a want? Come on, you guys, talk.
Depend on the community you're in.
Ah, exactly.
Okay.
It's depending on the community you're in. Right, because in some communities, no need to have it. But,
and
ahead.
just a sidebar, in your community, there is a way for you to check to see, or check on the safety of your community. Because the county, the sheriff's office, and the police department, they keep track
Data.
of data about crimes and things of that goes on in the community. And so you could call them and they would provide for you a list of incidents that took place in your neighborhood and during a span of time, so that you could make sound decisions
yes.
about security in your community.
Yep. That's a good question, though. Next one, please. How to begin paying off your bills. Know who you owe. Some people have no clue. They're seeing a bill come to the house and they're saying, I don't remember this. They don't even know what it's for.
So how do you know who you owe?
Exactly. And that's the thing, if it is every time you go to a doctor, and some people will get a referral to a specialist, and they go to the specialist, but they went to the specialist. They may pay their $40 copay or whatever, and then in their mind, they're done. The bill comes in 2 months later. So pay attention to what you're engaging in when it comes to money. Who are you paying the initial money to? Pay attention to that. And some people don't because it was a specialist. I paid my copay and I was done. And then you get a bill for $200 or $300 2 months later. So pay attention to that and put it down. I know people have said I've used a spreadsheet. Put it down. If you're not computer savvy, put it down in a notebook. Buy $1.25 now, not $1 anymore, the Dollar Tree. Buy a notebook and document it in there so you know. And so you would know who you owe. And then know what you owe. And if it's an old bill that's going back, 5, 10, call the billing office and negotiate. Say, hey, look, I can't pay you this whole chunk of money right now, but I can pay you this a certain amount. Can I get a payment agreement? Okay? And negotiate. What happens to people is they get nervous, they see the bill, and they never bother to call. Negotiate with them.
A lot of times they may just reduce. If you owe $125 and you say, I can't pay that, I could only pay $75. Would you take the $75? They'll take the $75 and write off the difference. So that's, negotiate. You never know. We always say this. The most they could tell you is what? Is no.
But you ask.
But you ask.
And sometimes when you ask, God already had warmed the heart of somebody who's going to answer the phone. I tell you, I have a lady that we know, and Sister May said, I called, she said, I had this money that I have to pay the electric company, and I didn't have it. The bill came. She wasn't working full time at that time. Her husband had passed, and she didn't have the money. And she said, she called them, and she said, you may as well take off the light. That's what she called to tell the girl. They said, let me look up your account. She said, okay. She said, but I'm calling you to tell you, just take it off, because I don't have it to pay. The girl came back on the line, and she said, ma'am, you don't owe anything. Your account is zero. But God, but God. She said, if I had not called, I would have stressed. My blood pressure would have been going up and worrying myself that the light is going to cut off every day. I'm going to walk in my house and the light will be gone. She said, I'm going to just call him, tell him to take it off. But God had already zeroed out, her account.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so call the people that you owe. Negotiate with them. Don't get upset. Don't get rude. Negotiate. Let them know the truth of what's going on. And the person on the phone may not be the one you need to talk to. Ask for a manager if that person. Ask for a manager. Say, I'm just calling to let you know I really can't afford this. I can give you this much amount. Oh, how much? And they'll negotiate with you. Set realistic goals or budget. Set realistic goals or budget. When you look at your budget sheet that you all have, you will look and you will see in that budget sheet all the things that are there. Actually put down what you usually pay every month. You're only cheating yourself when you try to put down less and it's more. You're only cheating yourself. You're not cheating anyone else. So put down what it actually is that you're paying, okay? Set realistic goals. Set your budget. Know what you're going to pay.
And those realistic goals would go back to the slide we looked at before where it talks about needs.
Yes.
See, you have the needs and you want to set it to be realistic.
Yep. Pay off the small balances. This is where you start. Okay? Put it all down. I owe this company $600. I owe this one $300. I owe this one $1,000. I owe this one $1,200. Whatever it is, put it down. Okay, if you're trying to pay that off, is that a bigger amount? But if I pay off the small ones, I can get rid of the next one. If I pay off that $600 or that $300, I have money. Now I can deal with that.
To put towards
That other one.
that big one with the high interest rate.
Right. But you see, the more you're trying to do that, that interest rate is still going up. It's not going, and that $600 that you owe is still sitting there. That $300 that you is still sitting there. But if I pay off that $300 and I pay off that $600, look how much I have to deal with the big one. Do you understand? So that's what it is. People try to pay off the big one, and all the little ones are still looking at you going, hey, hey. But if you get rid of them, then you have that other income now to deal with that big one.
See, here's an example. You have a small bill of $200, let's say, all right? And then you have your another bill with a high interest rate at maybe $1,500, okay? So now, you see, and the interest rate is, I don't know, 12%, whatever the case may be. Let's say it's a credit card bill or something, right? Has a high interest rate, all right? If you focus on paying off the small amount first, yes, the big one, they're going to add on a late fee and plus the interest, right? But if you pay off that small bill now, that $200, next month, you could take that $200 and pay it on to that big one. And what you would find is that late payment penalty that you have, you're really only paying it once. But you got rid of another bill here that could still be accumulated.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you don't pay your bills,
Yeah.
okay? You have the $600 and the $300. We're just using those numbers as small numbers. And you have, say, you have this $1,200 bill here. You're still paying that minimum payment, but you're trying to get rid of these two. You know, that's $600 and $300. You're still paying. It's not that you're going to ignore it. It's just that you're not going to worry about trying to pay $500 into it. You're going to take that, pay the minimum on there, which may be $120, but you're going to take the rest and pay off these. You pay these off. Okay? Once you pay those off, then you're like, okay, here we go. I can just deal with this one. Yeah, yeah.
So now in Spain, 125, now you could pay 200
Right.
or 300.
Right.
And then you would see that one just starts to disappear as well.
Right. And so get rid of those small bills. Sometimes we hold on, oh, it's just a little bit, but I'll pay the big one first. Keep paying the minimum on that until you get rid of the small ones, then you would be able to pay a higher amount. Okay? So important to do that. Do not create new unnecessary bills. So, here you are. You're starting, you got rid of bills. And here's that free thing in the mail that says, you've been approved. You've been approved for $50,000. Oh, mine keep coming to $250,000. And I keep looking at it, I'm going, you stay right there. It goes right in the shredder. Do not create unnecessary bills because you're going to find yourself right back where you started. Okay? So that goes in the shredder because I'm not going to put it in the trash because somebody's going to find it in the trash and then pretend to be me. So it goes in the shredder. Okay?
Well, what people have a tendency of doing is this, is that they would get let's say they would refinance some of their loans and roll everything into one payment. All right? So now you have, instead of paying a total of $700 for off all your bills, now you have everything rolled up and you're only paying $500 a month. All right? So now you have $200 amount extra money in your pocket.
Save it.
And so you say, man, that's $200 a month. I could go buy a new TV.
Whatever it is.
Or I could,
Yeah.
Or, I could get my new fishing rod. Right?
Use motorcycle.
So that's the mentality of how we think.
Right.
You see?
And we need to get out of
we
that.
have to get out of that
Yes.
way of thinking.
Yes.
We have to come to that realization that $200 could go towards either paying extra on the bill to bring it down, or it would go into a savings account.
Savings, right,
You
right.
know, rainy days
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
You know, your grandma used to always say, you always have a rainy day account. Put it in the rainy day account.
Yeah.
Because the Lord knows that the enemy is so crafty that the moment he sees that you are beginning to dig yourself out of that hole,
That God is helping you.
he's
He's
going to
gonna
bring
jump.
something towards.
Yep, the
towards you.
car is going to
So
thing,
put-
this is going to, something's going to
Put
go
that
wrong.
aside. Put it aside.
Put it aside.
So don't create unnecessary.
Suggest one thing for that. You know, I think one thing is that we need to be patient. And pay these things off. Don't get so discouraged when it's not moving like you
Right,
Be patient. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Consistency
yes.
is necessary. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Consistency, because when you're talking about don't create unnecessary bills, it's because you're like, oh, well, I got this. Maybe if I take this loan and I pay the rest of it off, but then you have a loan to pay back with a higher interest rate of 24% or whatever it is. So the thing of it is, God has allowed each and every one of us resources. So we ought to take care and be good stewards of what he has given each and every one of us. And sometimes we are not good stewards because we see our wants more than our
Your
needs.
needs. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right? Consolidation. Do your homework.
Yeah.
Don't jump into anything. Do your homework. The fine print will get you. Just like where they talk about that something mortgage for reversible mortgage. And I had a client that had a reversible mortgage on our house. And I worked for Adult Protective Services. And one of the things we look at is when if they're getting financial, taken advantage of, exploitation. So she said, I have a reversible mortgage, and then she talked about what she's getting as her pension and her Social Security. So as she said, but then they sent me this letter. So she showed me the letter, and it was basically saying that if she doesn't pay the mortgage back the loan back in a certain amount of time, when she dies, the house is not hers. A lot of older people don't understand that.
Now, keep in mind that reverse mortgage is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if it's done correctly by upstanding citizens. And as Pastor said, we do have some unscrupulous companies out there that's just out to get your money. But the reverse mortgage is a good thing, especially for someone who does not really have any legacy to leave. There's no children or grandchildren, and they need their monies now to care for them, to care for their health and things like that.
Right.
Right. So that's a good thing, in that they have the financial resource there to care for them as they get older, and so that after they are passed, then the house would go to whomever the lender was.
Right.
So it's not a bad concept.
It's how it's
It's
done.
how it's done.
Right.
It's how it's
And this lady had a grandson living with her, and she had a daughter. And she was like, my daughter is not going to get the house because the loan, if she dies, guess who has to pay that loan? The house is going to go to them, but whatever's left over, and when they assess it, so that's an issue. So we have to be very careful with that. And the other part is after you pay off one bill, add that money to the next bill. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Take that money and then move it towards that other bill. And so you'll get to a point where you don't have to have a long list of things. You know exactly what you owe and who you owe. Because now you've gotten rid. You do not need 10 credit cards. No one needs 10 credit cards. Even if you own a business, 2 will do. What you need to make sure is you should have, if you have family out of state, you need to have a credit card if something happens to them and you have to go. You need to have a credit card.
An
and
emergency card.
And that's an emergency. That's what you look at it as. An emergency card. It's not. And every once in a while, you buy $20 worth of gas and then send the $20 in right away. The reason being you want to keep it active.
Mm-hmm.
But you do not need 5, 6, 7 cards because that is really damaging your credit. Okay, you don't need all that. Get rid of them. I have 2, and that's it. One of them is keep clean for vacation and emergency. And one of them I use for stuff that I need. But that's it.
And the thing is, even in today's society, you really don't really need a credit card because your debit card functions as a credit card anywhere you go.
Well, we had no
and
money.
purchase stuff. Well, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah. If you don't have money, I'm
What's
sorry?
Yes.
Rent a
yes,
card,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. There's a reason why that is. Earlier on, you could rent a car using your debit card.
Yeah.
But what they would do, they would withhold $300 or $500 on your card. But even in doing that, the scammers, I guess, figure out a way to use the vehicle, rent the vehicle, and still get their monies back without, any penalty. And so you find that the car rental places now are insisting that you have a credit card when you do rent a car. I rented a car this week to travel to Roanoke. I rented a car this week. And when I gave him my credit card, he says, oh, by the way, even though it's a credit card,
Yep.
I'm going to hold $300
Yep.
on it
They're still doing that now.
on the credit card. So, so any which way they're going to get what belongs to them,
Exactly.
no matter what.
Exactly.
Next slide.
Saving a little at a time. Be realistic. Be realistic about it. Begin with whatever is realistic to you. We can't tell you to save, you have to save $20. We can't tell you that. What we can tell you is whatever works for you. 50 cents, $3, $5, however it is, but be consistent.
Consistent.
Be consistent. And people say, well, I've even paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, but I know if you have enough money to drive through Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, you have enough money to save.
If it's $5,
Yes.
if it's $10, I'm going to tell on myself. I've been a member of the gym for years. But ever since COVID, everything had shut down. So I haven't been to the gym. Now, how long ago was COVID? COVID with us?
2 years.
2 years, right? This month is 2 years.
Today actually is 2 exact
Actually,
years.
yes.
Today is
Yes.
12.
Yes.
Remember.
2 years. I haven't been to the gym.
Me, I'm going.
Look, and I'm saying, and I know it's my fault. It's me. But still, I'm saying $10 a month,
$120.
$240.
Oh, you paid it double, that's right. You
Well,
took the double
it's
one.
2 years,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
right? Now, how much I could have put away in that savings? $240. That's a lot of money. So think about it. If you were saving $10 a month, right, and you have that in an account, again, you're not really getting much in the banks
Interest.
anyways, but still. But you put that away. After 2 years, you got $240 that you didn't have at all.
Right. That you didn't have
And
savings.
if you have it saved in a correct account, that is going to be compounded and compounded. So start with the small stuff. I created a Acorn account. Anybody know Acorn? It's somewhat of an investment account where every time you spend $1 and 50 cents, it rounds it up, and the 50 cents goes into this account. Yeah. So you spend, even if you go to McDonald's and you buy whatever it is and you spend $7.35, they're going to round it up to $8. But that 85 cents, they're going to put it into your account. I started one of those accounts, it's been several years ago. Just out of curiosity, I tried it out. And I could pull it up on my phone now. Right now, you would never guess how much it's up to. Anybody want to take a guess? I'm going to tell on myself. I wish. I wish. Now, it's up to like $1,800 and something dollars. And it's just by, Acorn. And
His accent makes it hard.
just-
ACORN.
Acorn. Acorn. Yeah. So, yeah. It's attached to your account. So whenever you spend money using your card, it just rounds it up to the nearest dollar, and it puts that into a separate account for you. It's an app. It's an app. Yeah, it's an app.
So any institution would have, we deal with, that gets you access.
Well, once you set it up, you attach it to your account. And so whenever your account, it would round it up and take that and invest it for you. So, and
Yeah.
again, so you know, small things.
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. That's good. That's good. And then we talk about open a credit union account if you can. But I said if you can. Let them take it out of your account each month, your savings. What happens sometimes is that people mess up themselves at a regular bank. And they have made their account negative in so many ways, the bank say, you can't bank with us anymore. Okay? And so a credit union may take you. Okay? So for some people, don't forget, we're not talking to you all per se, but the masses. So this information needs to be shared
Or
with
viewers-
other
or
people,
viewers
or
online.
viewers outside.
Yeah.
outside. So understand that if you open a credit union account, then you can let them take and put in your savings and put that money aside and do something like that. I have at VACU, I call it VACU, but I call it VACU. VACU with them, Virginia Credit Union, I made sure that I think it's the first of every month, they move money from my checking to my savings. I make sure of that so that I don't have to remember to put money in my savings. They automatically will put a certain amount from my checking into my savings every first of the month. And they send me a note and say money has been transferred.
Now, and again, you're talking about opening or establishing a credit union account. For the individuals who have gotten to a place where they're not able to have an account established, like Pastor said, most credit unions will help you and develop an account for you. They would start with a savings account and help and walk you and encourage you to do that. So, go to a local credit union,
Yeah.
or even if it's a bank, if it's a small local bank in the community, I guess, Bank of Essex, I don't know, I'm just creating one. I don't know if there is one, but, there is one? Oh, okay. So, that's a local bank. So if you, contact them and let them know what you're looking for, what you're trying to accomplish, they would help you. If it's a local community bank, they would help you to get that
Because,
set up.
yeah, you're establishing credit.
Yeah.
Because some people have messed up their credit in a regular bank. They keep doing overdrafts and they don't have money to ever put in it. And so they stop their paychecks from going to the bank because the bank will take all of it because they have so much overdrafts.
Some of the banks too now are giving incentives for first-time customers.
Okay, good.
I think it's Union Bank, I'm not sure, but one of the banks I know, they were offering like $150 to open a new account and to keep it active for 6 months.
Yeah, there you go. So if they're given incentives, if they're given incentives, put that money into the account. But you know, folks will go ahead and say, give me the money. Free money, because our mentality has not moved from here to here. And so we're always thinking of putting money out, but we need to move up a little higher. God is a God of excellence. He's given us resources. We need to be good stewards. Okay.
I'm going to leave that one for you.
Okay.
Barter.
Barter your service so you do not have to have money. So if you are good at gardening, or you are good at lawn care, or you're good at whatever it is, barter with someone who may have children and need a babysitter, or the person needing a babysitter. Barter the service so you don't have to spend money.
You know, just thought of something, at our local gym up here, if, we're members of the gym, paying that monthly fee, but I just thought
Uh-oh.
I'm
if you
glad I'm not alone.
volunteer up there, then you get a discount, or you don't have to pay at all for your membership.
Okay, see? There you go. There you go. That's one thing. Thank you for sharing that. So that's what I'm talking about, barter. But sometimes we don't want to barter. We think I'm going to spend all this money. You know you don't have it to spend. So what are you doing? Just barter. Just
Again,
barter.
be realistic. Be realistic.
Yeah, be realistic with what you can actually do. Don't barter for something you cannot do.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Penny, nickels, and dimes, and jars. Utilize the community pantry until you do not need it.
Exactly.
You know, we have for years we have a 5-gallon water bottle.
Yeah.
You know, from the thing, and so for years we would be throwing our loose change in there.
Yep.
Loose change in there.
And we had that for a long time.
And whenever the grandkids come around and they say, Grandpa, could I get such and such? Yeah, yes, just
Go in there.
Go in there and take whatever change you need.
Yeah.
Nothing is coming out of my pocket right now.
There you go.
You know?
There you go.
And those kids are smart too. You give them 20. Tell them the story.
Oh, Lord.
Tell them the story.
I took the
They're smart
children
as
last week to a festival. What was it called? Black Restaurants Mobile Soul Sunday. You saw that? It was so many people, so many food trucks, different types of food, vegetarian, vegan. There were ices, there were all kinds of food, and there was music and vendors all over. So I said, okay, here is $20 each, and you all can tell me which vendor you want to go to, and I'll make sure I'm standing with you and everything. I said, well, and put your mask on if you're close to people, because it was so open. I'm like, you can have it, and if, well, we went to they wanted tacos. I said, okay. They looked at the prices like, okay, $8. So they're counting, we got $12 each left. And they said, how much for the drink? And I'm standing right there with them and let them do their stuff, because they're old enough, they can do their stuff. And then they're like, okay, that's $11. That only leave me with $9. So I said to the man, okay, so all the food came up to $41. So I said, okay, I got tacos and drinks too. The drink was a big thing of drink, lemonade. And then all of a sudden he said, oh, we don't take cash. So I paid with my card. Do you know them children put that money in their pocket so fast? They didn't even say, well, Nana, here, no.
Here's
No.
the $20 back.
No.
No.
They put that money in their pocket. Well, they told on themselves because this Sunday is American Irish or Irish American Festival. And I take them every year. And so I'm like, you know what? They're saying $20. Y'all going to use it next Sunday because I'm not giving you another $20. Yeah. Yeah.
Them kids are smart.
But take the pennies and nickels that you have and put it in a jar. You'll be surprised what you'll end up with. And it's good emergency money for gas and emergency money for tolls. It does not exist. What are you talking about? Your savings. If you're saving, act like it doesn't exist. I can't see it. I don't know how much is in it. I'm not counting it. But you be consistent in how you're saving. So if you're saving $5 a week, 10, whatever you're saving, be consistent with it. And if it's $5 a week, that means when you get your monthly pay, you put in $20 in the savings, right? Well, act like you don't see it. It doesn't exist. Act like you don't see it.
Here's one thing that I did. I created, well, before I left New York, and this was 30-something years ago we've left New York, but our church in New York had a credit union established. All right? And it's been in existence for years.
Yeah.
And it was just for the members. And so what I did, and my account there, it was sitting dormant for a while, and they sent me a letter and said, hey, you haven't had any activity on this account for a while, or you need to either close it out or, so I said, okay, fine. So I said, you know what, since I haven't been seeing that account, right, it almost was like it didn't exist. So why not use that as my savings account? So what I did, every time I get paid, automatically, I set up for the bank so it would send them X amount of dollars.
Yep.
So I don't have to worry about it. It's gone.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. And I don't see it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't exist. I wouldn't tell you how much it's up to now. But
When you say dormant account, I wanted to say too that if you do have an account, savings or checking, in so many years, they do go dormant.
mhm.
And if you don't do anything with it, they will send that money to the state. But if you just do $1 transaction per year,
Yes,
that will keep that account open.
yes, yes, absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They send it to unclaimed properties.
Yeah, and it'd be in the papers, by the way. I had an unclaimed property. Guess how much it was? 10 cents from VCU. But I said they can keep it.
Oh, okay. Again, it depends on what you want to do. Because if you haven't, it's a difference between a Roth IRA, which saves towards retirement, as opposed to a regular savings account that you could
You have access to
that you have access
if there's
to.
an emergency.
Yeah, a Roth IRA, if you pull out from it, you get penalized.
You have penalized with taxes.
From a tax standpoint. So you just have to be careful with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a good return. You get a good return on your investment.
Yeah, when you're thinking of retirement. Yeah. But you all have passed retirement age, so. Oh, good.
Oh, yes,
Good,
yes, absolutely,
absolutely, yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
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 If they could do it, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to
Yeah,
do it, yeah.
absolutely.
And so one of the things is make sure that even though you're saving, okay, it's for a rainy day. It's not for hamburgers and it's not for Cousin Roy. You know Cousin Roy, that every time you turn around, something wrong with Cousin Roy. It's not for Cousin Roy. You act like the account is not there. So when Cousin Roy is talking to you, all you can commiserate and say, I'll pray for you. Because next month something's going to happen with Cousin Roy again. Okay? So be very careful with that. Good. Next slide, please. And celebrate realistic milestones, okay? Hit that space bar again. Every time you pay off a bill, celebrate with an ice cream cone. Do not spend more than $5 to celebrate. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. That's exactly it. I saved, I paid off that $600 or $300
Yep.
thing, right?
I deserve it.
I deserve it. So I am going to buy a new pair of shoes for me, or for the men, a new suit. And so we do that, and then we're still in the hole again. We're still in the hole again. So celebrate and tell yourself you're only celebrating with $5 or less.
Yep.
So you know what your budget is. You know my celebration budget is $5. So I'm going to get an ice cream cone, or I'm going to go to Ben and Jerry's and get a bowl. I don't know. I don't eat ice cream, so I can't talk about ice cream. But all I'm saying is don't spend more than $5.
Second, number 2. No, go back. Yeah. Be quiet about your business. Because when you start to talk and brag about what you have done,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to hear, people are going to know, and people are going to come after you.
Yep. Can you lend
And-
me? You
and-
said you had some money. Can you lend me a little bit? Uh-huh.
And the thing is, it's not just people at church or at work or whatever. It's your family.
Yep.
They know you have a little something, something.
Mm-hmm.
Something goes wrong. They
They're
know
coming.
exactly where to come.
They're coming for it. And you
I also say, I was told, and I have learned to live this, do not loan anybody anything you can't give them.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
And we give, when we talk about giving and helping others, we must give out of our overflow.
Yes.
Understand your overflow.
Yes.
Understand that when God has blessed you, if he blessed you with an abundance that you have no bills, then you have an overflow. But when you got bills, you don't have an overflow. You still paying them bills.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So you can bless others out of your overflow. But it does, and don't look for it. Cousin Roy come and say, I need $200. And you feel like, okay, Lord, I've done all the bills and everything is done and I got the extra and I've paid off all of these things. Ask God. You can do a quick prayer to God. I guarantee you he will answer you.
He may say, don't give him 200, give him 50.
Uh-huh. But you got to be willing to listen.
Yeah.
Okay?
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, and tell Cousin Roy, I hear you, I understand your situation, but I don't have 200 to give you.
No, and I'm not going to even say I don't have 200. All I can give you is 50.
Well, same difference, 6
No,
and a
it's
half
no.
dozen the
See,
other.
when I say I don't have 200, I have 200. I just ain't giving you 200. God tell me give you 50, but I'm not going to even
Okay.
tell you that.
All right,
I'm
all
going
right.
to just tell you I have $50 you can
You
have.
could have. Yeah.
That's it.
I learned in a training treasury meeting from Allegheny East, you don't have $200 to give you, Cousin Roy.
Exactly.
But you, that's
Yeah.
it's not for you. I
Yeah.
have it, but it's not for you.
It's not for you. And it's so important to not boast. People have a tendency. I have a young lady I know. She owned a business, and she still owns the business, but she was working full time, and her business was, not it. She went to work and boasts. Oh, I have a business, and she tapped it. Supervisor went and looked up all her business, get into a meeting and start telling people about her business. And I said, stop. Why? I said, why are you talking? I said, why are you talking?
And everything is online now.
I said,
So you
stop,
could
mind
find
your
stuff.
business. Why are you telling them your business? Then the super, I guess you're not going to be working here much longer. You see, all that, why do you need all that? Stop boasting. Stop boasting.
I've seen people be boasting about what they got and come up with a new car and everything. When overtime comes, they want people for overtime.
You
Oh,
see,
wow.
you got,
You don't-
exactly.
see, because you don't need it.
You don't need it. You got yourself a new car. You boasting about it.
Yeah.
And so God has given us resources. It is up to us to seek him, to ask him what we should do with it. It is his. He lends it to us a little bit. So don't get it twisted and think you got it and you own it all.
All right.
Every 3 months, assess your
That's
position.
the position.
Are you in the same place? Are you making baby steps? Buy a lollipop. Buy a lollipop to celebrate. Assess. Always don't do that sheet right now and say, okay, this is it. I'm going to do this from April. And then in December, because you didn't assess yourself in 3 months.
So when you look at yourself at the end of the year, you realize, man, I haven't really accomplished anything.
Yeah, because you didn't assess.
I haven't gained anything.
Yeah.
So you didn't assess, so,
Yeah, you didn't assess to say, oh, I need to readjust.
right.
An assessment is ongoing. Assessment is not you wait till the end of the year. You sit down every 3 months and you say, okay, I started doing this. How far did I get with that $600? Or how far did I get with that $300? Okay, I only have $150 left. Yes, That's a milestone. Buy a lollipop. When you get to the end of it, you can afford an ice cream cone. And you see what I'm saying? What you do is to reassess where you are with your finances. And that is exactly what you should be doing.
You know, one of the, oh man,
Yeah.
we're going on time, right?
You got 2 minutes.
One of the one of the things we do during marriage counseling is looking at budget, finances, and where was it? This year? No, in March. Late last year, last summer, we were wrapping up a session with a young couple, and we talked about budget in their budgeting, and when we looked at their finances, because a lot of times
Bless you.
people don't think that even in premarital counseling, we go through their finances with them. And we go through a lot of this stuff with them. Because people come together with different baggages. And finances is a baggage.
Yeah.
And so we have to look at that. And so we were able to work with them and help them to focus on the small ones first. And within
A few months.
a few months,
Oh, they videotaped it.
Yeah.
And say,
Within
hey,
a few
we
months.
paid off that. And they were so excited. We got excited on the other side of the phone.
they were able to pay off a lot of their small bills and start focusing on the larger ones so that when they do come together as a union, they don't have that baggage.
All those other things.
To-
They can
to carry-
focus on
to
getting
carry
a
with them.
house because all those things are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
So
the funny thing is,
assessments, yeah.
I'm sorry. The funny thing is, he talked about that. We were talking about that in the kitchen.
Is that right?
Next one, please. The future workshop, invest in penny stocks, invest in utilities, preparing to help with your children or your grandchildren's college.
Yeah, we're going to talk about those in
That's
a
the
different
future.
session.
That's future stuff. But just to let you know that God has allowed you to hold some resources, you and I and all of us should be good stewards of those resources. So we thank God for what he has given to each and every one of us, and I hope that you all got something out of it. What's anybody's takeaway today? What will you take away from here today?
Yes, ma'am. My first thing is be true to your bills.
Amen.
Income.
Be true to your bills. That's right.
Yeah.
Pay off the small ones first.
Pay off the
Yeah.
small ones first. All right.
Yeah.
Be
Be consistent. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a,
Mine is kind of, there will be other workshops, and I'm looking forward to that. This was so great.
Well, I am so sorry.
one thing we didn't mention was, again, this workshop is for everyone at all various levels. But so whatever level you may find yourself, it's important that you check your credit report.
Yes.
It's free. That, one of the things we talked about is knowing who you owe and how much you owe. That's a good place to start, because what happens that you may owe some stuff that does not belong to you.
Uh-huh.
See? So check your credit report.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody else may have used your name. You know for a fact you didn't ever went to Pennsylvania to buy a coat. And some store up there, you're on their credit, it's on your credit report. And you're like, I've never been to Pennsylvania to buy a coat. So there you go. You can challenge that, okay? And that comes off your credit report. But I thank you all for being here. I would suggest that you invite someone to look at it on YouTube so that they too can get some of the information, especially if you have single women or single women with children, or you have someone who's just starting out in the real world, getting a job. So share the information on YouTube with them, okay? Thank you, everyone.
Let's stand and have a word of prayer. Go ahead.
Lord, thank you. Thank you for reminding us that we should be good stewards of what you have given to us, Lord. Help us to remember that it still all belongs to you. So we ask for your guidance as we travail this earth and as we do the things that we need to do. Lord, we pray, dear God, that you will give us guidance when we need to share, Lord. Help us to share out of our overflow because you're continuously blessing. And we thank you. We give you all praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
You're welcome.